Hello, fairy friends. This is Liz. I am back with a response to Tammy's response video to my original video about this Kewpie. So I'm going to call this our Kewpie conversation. And if anyone else wants to follow along, I'm going to go ahead and put my original video link, and then I'm going to put the link to Tammy's response video. That way you guys can follow along if anyone's interested. And even if you're not, please go over, if you haven't already, and check out Tammy's channel. She has a lot of neat information on there. She adds to it almost daily, weekly for sure, and she has lots of information about doll history and doll restoration, even if you're not into restoration and you're just a collector. And even if you're not a collector and you just love dolls and you're looking to get into collecting, there's something there for you on her channel. And she's very informative. She's very funny. In fact, she and her husband helps out on the videos often, and they're a comedy duo together, so they crack me up. So let's get to some of the things that you were talking about, Tammy, which I just felt like I shouldn't write a book about it. I should just go ahead and make a really quick video. This is 1983. So that's a lot later than the two dates that you had mentioned. But it does say cameo on it, so I got a little bit alarmed when I realized that maybe this, because this being so late in the 80s, that this could possibly be fake. It is marked cameo. As you can see, she is already causing a little bit of trouble. She has a wire rod running through her body that the legs and the arms are strung to. So her head can tilt forward once it gets to a certain point really fast. And another thing that you'd mentioned, Tammy, about the vintage baby clothes sizing, I really feel like you're onto something there, and I think that's worthy of more research to figure it out, because even in my limited experience with the vintage baby clothes, because I have mostly smaller dolls, I don't have that many that can wear actual baby clothes, so I haven't really bought a lot. I've sewn a lot. But I think you're onto something. This was marked, here's the tag that I saw in the auction. They took a picture of that, and I must be losing it because I swear there was another tag, and I'll go look again before the pictures are taken down. I swear there was another tag, and the tag read 2T on it. And I thought, wow, that's, this doll's really big. It can fit a 2T. This dress does not look like a 2T. It's so small. Like maybe 12 months. Maybe a year old child could wear this. So I know you said a variable might be that clothing might have been washed and so therefore had shrunk. Also, another factor might be that we're growing, that we're just getting bigger over time. I don't know. Another thing that made me think of this, but I know it's not a possibility, is vanity sizing, which wouldn't make sense in children's clothes. And if you haven't heard of the vanity sizing before, a lot of times people say, oh, well, Marilyn Monroe was a real woman. She had curves. She was a size 8. Well, I'm a size 8. And if I got one of her dresses, I probably wouldn't be able to stick a leg into it, because a size 8 was a lot smaller back then. The fashion industry and clothing brands have realized that women will pick favorite companies based on how small they say that they are, thus the term vanity sizing, which just wouldn't make sense for children's clothes, because parents don't have time to be goofing around with that, and they don't care. They need to know exactly what size their kid needs to wear. So I think this warrants more investigation, and Dodie or anyone else who knows more about baby fashion and baby clothes might be able to weigh in on this. because Tammy, I know you have more experience because you have a really, really beautiful collection of vintage baby clothes. So, and this is, I don't know if I said this already, that is a 0 to 3 months. So, I'm glad that it can wear actual clothing. I have a doll that I don't have to sew for, but it needs something, and I'm itching to sew some lace on that and gussy it up. And I was laughing, Tammy, when you mentioned taking the leg into the store with you, because I can just see me doing this, and my friends, my neighbors, and people who know me probably wouldn't bat an eye, because I'm already known as the crazy doll lady. So, but now I don't have to, because you've already said between a 4 and a 5, and maybe stick closer to that size 5 on the shoe. So, save me a lot of trouble. I did go to the thrift store yesterday, and I saw tons of really nice shoes. So I think I'm going to have to go back now that I know the size I need. Now, you mentioned the hands, and that the hands looked like the Patty Play Pal type. And I agree. And they're not like other Kewpie dolls. Here is one of my bisque Kewpies that I have to finish. It needs to be strung. And I think you're right about the starfish. You said it was the starfish hand. So this is a Scoodles that still needs to be put together. And it has that distinctive hand, the fingers spread out like that. And that's what we normally see. My Cameo Kewpie, that was my first doll, was it had mittens. And I always said it was wearing pajamas, but I think it was actually a snowsuit because the hands were in that mitten shape. So there's that. And then I have another one that I need to finish that's a bit bigger. And I'm going to have to make my own body. I think I'm going to make it out of air dry clay, because somewhere, I don't know how this could possibly happen, because I am so organized. How I lost the body to this, I have no clue. Actually, I do have a clue. I am a disorganized mess. But anyways, I will probably make an air dry body for that. But I love her hands. They are so beautifully sculpted. And I just don't think that starfish shape would have played out on this larger scale. It probably would have looked really bizarre. So I'm really glad that they did the detail on this, on the bigger doll, because it really is so endearing. And those little chubby knees and these little toesies. So I'm very glad to know the shoe size. So thank you, Tammy. I'm so tickled with her. I was so tired last night. Like I said, I couldn't do the box opening, but I did just open her. And I took her downstairs, and my husband was like, "Are you taking that to bed with you?" And I said yes, because I haven't had enough time to look at her. I had to look at her cute face some more, so I put her on the nightstand beside me. And just tickled to death with her and her eyes. That was the other thing about the I noticed that yours, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think that yours are looking to her left, whereas mine, she's glancing to her right. And just wanted to point that out, but correct me if I'm wrong, because doll collectors know little interesting little tidbits like that, little signposts to the era that the doll was created and all that. So I didn't know if there was a secret, a Kewpie secret about the direction of the eyes, or if it's just something that's just how it was, which would be fine too. But thought I'd ask, because I'm always finding out new and interesting things that make me go, oh, what? So anyway, thanks everyone for watching. I did promise more fairy related videos. I am keeping to that promise. So please, like I said, don't unsubscribe. This isn't going to all be about the vintage dolls. I'm always making my fairy dolls. Always. I'm always making more. I'm on Facebook, and that's where you can get sneak peeks. If you go down in the description below, then you will see the links to Facebook. And you don't have to have Facebook You don't have to have an account to look to see what I'm working on. I'm at The Fantasy Art of Liz Amond on Facebook. And you, like I said, you do not have to have a Facebook account. I know a lot of people are getting away from Facebook, and that's fine. But if you want sneak peeks of what I'm working on as far as my fairies, and if you want to get a heads up on when new fairies are available, that's where I always post before you see anything on my website or on my YouTube channel. So, like I said, also go over and check out Tammy Lasky's channel. She's got a wealth of information over there. So, I think that's all I wanted to cover. I know as soon as I press stop recording, I'm going to remember something else. So, I guess I'll have to save that for a comment or a later video. Anyways, everybody have a magical day.